I went to the doctor about 3 or 4 months ago. My blood pressure was high. My sugar was high and on the verge of diabetic, but it was like still in that high normal, I guess you'd call it. My cholesterol was getting high, and all of my numbers were looking like every other 53-year-old who drinks as much as he wants and eats whatever he wants. It's just going to get that way. But the doctor was funny because she kept looking at my gut and she was like, I know where you could probably improve a lot. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, why do you keep looking at my gut? And so she goes, you could lose probably 15 to 20 pounds and your blood pressure would probably go right back in check. I know your blood sugar would come down and your cholesterol would improve. So she goes, you might want to try that. I'm like, yeah, okay. So you're calling me fat guy. I had the original Apple Watch. I don't really like the design of the Apple Watches. The square face was kind of cool when it first came out. It kind of wears thin after a while, and I just like the classic round watch face. And I wear it so infrequently that I don't even know where it is. I looked for it the other day because I was going to start using it to track some health. I can't find it. That tells you about how important that watch is to me. On top of that, it's useless if it's without the iPhone. Now, I know there's new ones. Gen 1 is probably the worst one to reference as, a comparable. But all my kids have the later versions of the Apple Watch. So I do know how it works and what it looks like. And it's cool. I have Mac minis. I have an Apple iPhone. I have a MacBook Air. I have a MacBook Pro. I am no stranger to the Apple ecosystem and I love it. So this is not an Apple bash. So I'm going to break this down into two categories of watch designs, and the companies are going to fall either in one of these two categories or they're going to fall somewhere in between. I think watches fell into two categories early on. It was either you're going to go sports or you're going to go like Apple Watch. Really, that's it. And I think Garmin was the leader in the sports arena and Apple was the leader in the all-around arena. But Garmin was tough, durable, battery life, kind of like the tough guy watch, What I think Apple did was they tried to move the phone's functionality up to the wrist 100%. So basically you end up, in my opinion, with an iPhone on your wrist. And it's not as good because you can't interface with it well. You can't touch the keyboard. You can't move and manipulate things. It's just tiny and it feels weird. Garmin was for the snorkeler, the caver, the swimmer, the mountain climber, biker, runner. And then Apple came along with their watch and it was kind of cool, but be careful with it. Don't go too deep. It's splash resistant. Don't touch a piece of metal because it'll scratch. It was that kind of a delicate thing, whereas Garmin was like, no, go for it. But the screens on the Garmin's early on were kind of rough. The screen was abysmal. I couldn't handle it. Now, outside, the screen looked great. You could see all the numbers clearly, had good contrast. Everything was great. It had this like photoreflective type of LCD screen. Inside, literally couldn't see it at all, and you had to use the backlight. And when the backlight came on, it made your phone look like a calculator, which in my opinion is unacceptable in today's world when it comes to smart or fitness watches. And the functionality that the Garmin's didn't offer in conjunction to the iPhone made it a little bit lackluster as well. And the price wasn't cheap. Okay, I know what you're thinking, Joe. This is an Amazfit video. When are we going to talk about the GTR 4? We're getting to it, I promise. So let's walk through some of the criteria I originally had for my Garmin and how the Amazfit kind of fit the bill and how I evolved to that. The original Garmin had music playback native to the watch. So basically you could import playlists from Spotify and play those on headphones as you were walking around without the phone being near your watch. You didn't have to have the phone. The watch also had GPS tracking, so it had its own GPS radio antenna, and it could track your course and show your course on a map, and you didn't need to bring your phone. I just want to disconnect and be in my zone and do my thing. It's not like I'm working out that hard. Sometimes it's just stress and decompression. So it offered everything I wanted. In addition to those two features, it also offered some integration through the app with MyFitnessPal, which I thought was very important to me, which ended up not being that important after all. After seeing the screen, sending the Garmin back, I had looked at a couple videos for this Amazfit watch. It was the GT2, the GTR 3, all these different Amazfit watches. And at first I thought it was an Amazon company. Amazfit kind of rung with Amazon, and they seem to be available on Amazon. I thought, oh, this is an Amazon related company. It's not related at all. I think, or I don't even know who the manufacturer is. I think it's made in China, and surprise, surprise, all your watches that you're wearing, your Garmin's, your Apples, whatever you're wearing, most of it's made in China. I got this video one time pop up, and it was the GTR 4, and it said that this watch had come out in September. A couple of things I liked about that. It was a late release, meaning it had just come out a few months ago. So it means processors, screens, those type of things would be updated. And the feature set on this watch was kind of unreal. It was $199, which was $20 more than the Vivo Active 4 at the time. So I started looking at it thinking, well, do I really want to stray? Is it going to be tough? Is it going to be good enough? It's an all aluminum body. It's got a AMOLED screen, very bright. It's got a big screen. I think it's 43 millimeters, something like that. So it's got plenty of real estate to see the screen. Now, it has audio playback on the device itself. It's not as good as the Garmin in the sense that it doesn't use a music service. It actually just allows you to put MP3s in a folder onto the watch and play those back. You can also control your iPhone music from the watch too. So you have two options. Finally realized that it wasn't all that critical for me to have a playlist from Spotify, although that was nice because it was prepackaged and done. I have so much music on my hard drives that I just grab, 50 songs, throw it on the watch, and that's enough for me to do whatever it is I need to do. So I'm fine with that. It also has GPS tracking. I think the GPS tracking on this watch was far better than the Vivo Active. It uses like 5 satellites or something like that. And I mean, it is like pin tack sharp. I mean, it puts me right on the spot where I'm going. It has a very iPhone-esque feel and appearance, which is kind of nice because the Garmin had a very like rudimentary, basic, militant looking look to it. This is a little bit more sleek. You can change your faces to look analog. They can look digital. And that's not unique to any watch. That's just what this could do. What really sent this over the top was its most recent Black Friday discount sale, which is $159. So now it's $20 less than the 4-year-old Garmin. And it does as much and more, and it has a way better screen. But here's the kicker. It claims a 15-day battery life. I don't really care. The Garmin was getting me 3.5 days, which I was happy with. And that's an old 4-year-old version. This watch claims 15 days. My brother-in-law, I think, is up to 5 or 6 days, and he's only at like 40% or 50%. I'm on my third day, and I'm at like 57% on my third day. So I'm easily going to get 4, maybe 5 days out of this thing. So I'm pretty excited about the battery life. That to me smashes the Apple Watch. I'm sorry, Apple Watch owners. Yeah, yours does more stuff than mine. Its integration is better. It might have a better screen. It might be cooler than mine. But when you're charging, I'm rocking. So whatever. I'm not going to beat up the Apple Watch because it's a good watch. It does great things. And if that's what you use, it's a good choice. I just wanted something less, and I wanted something geared more towards sports. And that's where I like this watch because it rung more towards the Garmin side of life. But it offered nice things. The one thing that it did that I really like is that it had a speaker and has a microphone. What that enables me to do is interact with this watch, and I'll show you all the watch features and stuff in a different video. On the next video, I'm going to go through step by step. You can use Amazon Alexa on here, and you can also tell your watch to open an app or to open reminders or to do something, and it will do it. And then you can also answer phone calls from your phone as long as it's tethered to your phone Bluetooth. It's not a SIM card watch. It's a watch Bluetooth tethered to your phone like the old school Apple Watches. But if it's deep in your pocket or you're underneath the sink working on something and your phone's on the counter and your watch starts ringing, you can answer and take the call. And you can also preload some contacts into the watch and make calls outward just by single touching, or you can dial a number. That's very cool. I really like this watch. I think it's a great buy. It's the perfect blend of the fluidity of the Apple Watch and the sports orientation and ruggedness of the Garmin watch. That's what I really like about it. It kind of blends both worlds. Garmin's here, Apple's here, and the Amazfit's like here. It has some of the Apple attributes, most of the sports attributes that the Garmin has. People debate and argue the accuracy, but I'm not a super hyper sports person. I don't use like the chest straps and all the extra stuff. I go on walks. I like to track my steps. I like to track my calories. But all in all, it's perfect. 159 bucks. Amazfit comes in black with a nylon band. It comes with like a silver with black band. It comes with like a silver with tan band. And you can get a 22 mil band online, quick release that fits, and change these out just like any other watch. So definitely the Amazfit GTR 4 is 100% buy. It's a really good watch. And I'm going to go through every single detail in the next upcoming video so you can see what it's all about. There's plenty of videos out there. I'm going to try to hit some stuff that tells you things that you may not know and answer some questions that you might be asking just like I am. So thanks for coming along, guys. I'll do an unboxing and initial review on this in the next video. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate y'all. Have a good holiday. See ya. iOS versus Android iOS. So that's not a thing. Notifications. Take 2 of that bullshit.